All right, so in this final video, we are just going to go over the final assembly of the entire Flow Hive 2. Everything has been put together. You've seen in the previous videos. One other thing that I wanted to address while putting it together, and when we get the brood box on, I'll show you where these go. This is for your harvesting shelf. This is really easy to put together. You just have this metal plate that fits nicely in this little cutout area, and you just put the screws in. And then on the brood box, I'll show you where there's 2 screws I brought out about 2 turns, I want to say. They recommend 1.5 turns. I had to do mine just a little bit more to get it to seat on there nicely. And I'll show you where these go and how the harvesting shelf works as we put this together. So we have our whole base here that we had all done. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our screen for the bottom here and then pop it in, and it's going to be angled down right here, so slope down. And then there's this blue film. Just remove the blue film as you're putting this together, and then from here it gets a little bit easier. So we got this screen on. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to throw on our brood box just like this. There you go. Right, and then from here, this is where most people are going to stop and start working on their colony. If you already have a nuke prepared, or other bees from a hive or a split or whatever have you, that's going to go in here. This is where you'll put them in and then add in the additional frames. And then they go in just like that. And then next would be your queen excluder. Sits right on top. The next piece would be your super. This is where your auto flow frames would sit. So you throw that on just like this. All right, and then here's your auto flow frame. So pay attention with this frame. There is this little opening right here where your tool's going to go in to open up to release the honey for when it's time to harvest. And then you have your little spout down here. So you want to make sure that this is facing the front here. And I'll show you a little bit after we get our harvesting shelf on. And then next up is going to be our top board right here. And then make sure you have your plug. So however you manage your top board is up to you. If you're going to put a feeder on there, put a screen on there, or keep the plug in. If you allow it to open up to the top, there's a good chance they're going to build comb up there. If you want that, then go for it. To each of their own. Then our final piece here is our roof. And just like that, there is your Flow Hive 2. All right, and then of course, don't forget to tighten up your roof here. Not too tight, just enough to hold it down, so that way you don't end up going too far in and breaking some wood. You don't need to crank anything down on this. Remember, we're working with cedar. All right, so as I told you, for our harvesting shelf, these little brackets here. If you notice on the brood box, the middle screws right here are slightly protruding out. The reason for that is so we could put that on, just like that. Notice how the Flow Hive symbol is faced outward. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter which side you put it on, just aesthetics. Right? So that way, when it comes time to harvest our honey, we take our shelf off. Fits right down here into these box joints, and you have your little shelf, right? And then what you have here is this little plug, and this is where your spout will go for when it comes time. You're going to have to adjust this to make sure that it's angled the other way for harvesting honey. And then of course you're going to want to remove this top piece right here. Let's see if we can get this out. Like that. And this is where your tool is going to go, right here in the top. So you would go ahead and just pop this in. I'm sorry, I'm going to take this block out right here. Don't lose these. Make sure you keep track of them. They're clear, so they're easy to lose. One recommendation is maybe painting them so they're easily identifiable. So in case you drop them in the ground, you don't lose them. But then, yeah, your tool will just go into here, and then you crank it down. that one tightened it up, so now I have nice even things. And then when you put it in, and then you're not going to crank it super hard down, just enough to break the comb. See how it's at an angle? I'm not like cranking it over. You don't want to break this plastic, so take it easy on there. You see that the comb will be cracked after you turn it. So, and then that's it. Honestly, it's a pretty nice setup you have here. It did take a few hours to assemble. You can see from the videos that we spent a little bit of time putting this together. Had to spend a little bit of extra time, of course, getting all the imperfections taken care of. I'll put that in. Put that back together. Down. So overall, good quality wood. It was a fun project to build. As you can see, when it's all said and done, looking at it, you know, it's a really pretty beehive to look at. You put it next to anything else, and this is your Cadillac of bee houses, in my opinion. You got all this fancy stuff on here that it's nice having brass and whatnot, stuff that's going to last the test of time. So you're really what you pay for, you're getting out of this, backed by an awesome customer support staff. And again, as you go through here, make sure you check all these pieces out when you open up your flow hive. Make sure that everything is sound and good. And if you need to, talk with their customer support. And they've been very lovely to work with. Any of the problems that I've had with this, they have worked with me. The brood box that actually came with this kit was not able to work out because the joints were so bad, but I ordered an extra brood box when I ordered this whole flow hive too, and the extra one I ordered ended up fitting and working, so that way I can make these videos and show you the whole completed project. But again, they've been working with me, and they're awesome to replace any damaged or broken parts. But other than that, yeah, here you go. Here's a flow hive 2. I think it looks fantastic. If you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and leave them and contact me if there's anything you want to know about or need more information. But thanks for watching.